a gun in his hand, he forcibly took the money from Wesley. This night, October 15th, 1989, is when Wesley started hearing the voices.
He's got it right down to the day, the event that like triggered him.
Oh, really?
He just freaked. I mean, he's real proud of the money he makes, and he had saved, you know, this amount, and this guy like was going to kill him for it, and it just...
Wesley was showing symptoms of severe schizophrenia at this time. Roger Lee Carpenter forced Wesley to move out. Having nowhere to go, at 27, Wesley moved back with his father at 740 East 43rd Street. Wesley was selling his drawings now as only means of support. He was now spending his days on the buses, downtown, and only returning to sleep. Around this time, Wesley would go to Genesis repeatedly to buy art supplies. During his many trips, he often ran into Dale Miners, an artist, musician himself. The two would become good friends and would later go on to form the Wesley Willis Fiasco.
Then it started like, I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, this guy's always got a lot of money, and he doesn't have a job. I'm like, that's cool. And I'm like, this guy's got like, everybody knows who he is, you know, and like, everything about him is like so badass. And his art, like, I knew him for so long before I ever watched him draw, and he's badass, man. Like, he'll be talking to you, and he'll like, draw the building.
Wesley was also good friends with the employees at Genesis, including Carla Winterbottom, Eric DeBatt, Bob Fredericks, Dave Kaplan, and Jim Sims.
He was there every day. Yeah. I mean, we hung out with him every day for like 2.5 years. Yeah, 2 years. Like every day, 5 times a week. I mean,
is somebody waiting in line at a register at Genesis, or somebody in the street or in the subway tunnel. I mean, Wesley just sucks him right into his space cage.
Dale helped find Wesley an apartment at 1435 Rockwell.
Bulletproof glass and like a police officer back there, you know, and we're like skinny white guys. Hi, you know, it's so funny. We're like, we're here to see Wesley Willis, you know. So we kind of like moved him out. He had like a bag, you know, full of clothes, kind of. And what else did he have? Oh, he had boxes and boxes of CDs. He had like this by just...
Finally, at age 27, Wesley was free.
It's crazy. I'm just having fun. My God.
You love that, huh?
Wesley got lonely, though, and would spend more time at Dale's loft at 1509 Milwaukee. But something tragic would happen to Wesley in 1991. Riding home on a bus on the south side, a man attacked Wesley with a box cutter and severely injured him. The man was arrested and charged. Wesley's first song would be about this incident.
Once upon a time, on the Ford Castro bus, I felt like I was on the floor. I was talking to myself. Suddenly, the man in his 30s thought I was talking to him. Suddenly, he started yelling at me, talking vulgar. I tried to tell him to shut his face, but it refused to do so. When I was about to get up to get off the bus, that same guy whipped out a box gun on me. He followed me to the exit door, chasing after me as I got off the bus. That was that perfect day I got stroke after. He just slashed me in the fucking face and got in the back.
Then, Dale moved Wesley into an apartment on 1930 North Drake with an old college friend, Bill Pennington.
About a year and a half ago, they lived together, and Wesley paid all the rent. The guy had 2 jobs, didn't pay any rent, saved up, bought a truck, basically used Wes and kind of, you know, Wes was just kind of emotionally a wreck at that time, you know, really upset about it. Didn't know whether Phil was a friend or a jerk, because Phil would really screw his head up. Like, I love you, Wesley, but then fuck him around royally, you know.
He was cool and he and I were tight, but he kept like fallen off more and more and more. And I haven't seen him in a while, but.
Phil also liked to take Wesley to X-rated movies and adult bookstores. Wesley did not like either of these and decided it was time to move out once again.
I guess I just didn't understand that life that he was leading, you know? Like when I went to pick up Wesley, man, we just like didn't understand, you know? It was just crazy.
And it was really hard. I mean, no one wanted him. You know, even the places that take people on SSI, he was either like too independent or not dependent enough or this or that. There was all.
In May 1993, Wesley Willis moved in with the manager of Genesis Artist Warehouse, Carla Winterbottom.
Every day, when I finally said, okay, move in here month to month until you find somewhere, it's supposed to be temporary, but every day he'd be like, oh, it's so nice living here, you treat me so much better. And, you know, I think it was like the first stable, quiet environment he had in a while. You like that cereal, huh?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get one bowl.
Hey, Carla. I like you.
Sometimes he goes to Genesis Art Store to finish a drawing or sell one. It is just one of the many places Wesley goes to sell his art.
I just draw buildings because that keeps me going places and meeting people.
Really?
I'm a busy man. I'm an artist and a rock musician.
Besides selling drawings, Wesley also spends his day visiting friends.
Is it thick?
It's the one you had yesterday. You said you liked it. Remember?
Yeah.
I asked you if you liked the new
I
one.
want a thin crust.
It's very light and crispy.
Light and crispy? Crispy like a history?
I was impressed
By what?
by the fact that he is so sweet, he's got such a good heart, and that he's very talented,
Yeah.
and that he makes his own way in the world. And
Yeah.
I'm impressed by anybody that is self-sufficient. That's it.
Waffles, will waffles make you fat?
Waffles will make you fat, Wes.
They will.
Yes, they will. Well, you have some fruit with your cereal.
I'm gonna see what I can do.
Well, that's good. Well, I'm glad I finally got to meet you.
I know you did get to meet me because I'm just doing well. Got me on a nice big shirt. I took my medicine this morning.
Good for you.
Just to stop these mean voices from talking to me.
Right.
They were talking to me with filthy, vulgar language.
That's not
And
good.
still, they do cuss me out.
But you ignore them.
Sometimes I ignore them, sometimes I yell at them.
Yeah, on the bus.
One time I was yelling in the Vincent Street bus, 4 police officers came and got me off. They told me to control myself.
He went out to San Diego to play with the Digits.
Yeah.
And I was working with Carla, his roommate, on the travel situation. And I was worried because I know that people like Lucille Ball and just people who are some boisterous celebrities have been blacklisted from a lot of major airlines. And Wes has had trouble on the bus before. And so I was just concerned that perhaps, if he had any problems, he was flying on someone else's frequent flyer miles, and that he would get stranded in San Diego somehow. But when I was most worried about him, apparently everyone on the plane loved him so much. The pilot loved him, and he spent half the ride in the cockpit hanging out with pilots, and he's a star.
On occasion, Wesley must also show up for band rehearsals for any upcoming concerts which feature the fiasco.
Hey! I said Boston chicken is the freshest thing going.
The verse parts, you're saying them way fast, and you're just slowing down. Remember,
Yeah.
spread them out like you did on the tape.
Yeah, I did good.
Except you're too fast.
Yeah, Boston chicken is the freshest thing going.
But things are not always easy for Wesley. The voices are sometimes chronic and come in an endless assault. The medication only helps some of the time. His drawing and music are just as much of the therapy as the medication.
Heaven or hell, heaven or hell.
Besides drawing and making rock and roll music, Wesley loves to talk on the phone.
Hey Keith, it's Wesley Willis. I'm doing okay, you big water tower head.
I would say they average out to $70 or $80 just in long distance, and it's like just state to state, so they're like $1-2 calls, so, you know, he makes like, there's at least 50 long distance calls in a month.
Wow.
And millions of local. And he pays his bill. I mean, he just, you know, we mark off what part of the phone bill is whose, and he pays.
A bunch of brain rattle.